What up, everybody? This is the Presidential Tourist, and I'm at the Polk County History Center behind us. It's a nice museum. I've actually filmed plenty of videos here over the years. I haven't been here in quite a while. Thought since I'm in Bartow, why not stop, check it out, see what's new, maybe check out some of the old stuff, and just spend a little time enjoying the local history. So let's head on in. It's in right there. It's the former courthouse. I'm not exactly sure when it stopped being an active courthouse, maybe the 1980s. They built a much more larger one, which I think that's it right there. So now it's the first two floors there are for the museum. Then there's a third floor, and there's always been rumors going around that the third floor is supposed to be haunted. So yeah, I found a little bit of information on there online, not too much about it. It's also interesting, this building right there behind me actually has a basement, a cellar, which is kind of interesting because you don't see a lot of places that have cellars here in Florida because Florida is generally made of sand, so it's kind of hard to do. All right, let's head on in. Okay. Ooh. Right. Fairly large building, pretty cool looking. And here's a nice information sign about it. It is considered a Florida Heritage Site. I'll let you pause that if you want to read it. Very nice looking building. Pretty cool. The history of education in Polk County. This is all new. At least newer from when I was here last. But they change displays here from time to time. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Looks like over here they have information about the history of fire rescue and law enforcement in Polk County. Looks like they have a lot of cool information signs. Pretty awesome. Look at those things. Wow, a cool, sweet vintage camera. I want to point this out. Now, Polk County, Lakeland specifically, has a very rich history with regard to baseball because the Detroit Tigers spring train there, and I think the relationship between Lakeland and Detroit, I think, is like one of the longest with professional baseball between a city and a team for spring training. I forget how long they've been there, but many, many, many decades. And they have a nice, cool display here about sports. The Tigers has a nice memorabilia. Leisure sports. Prep sports, Polk All-Stars. And interestingly, the Polk County Sports Hall of Fame is in Auburndale, and then they have the Florida Sports Hall of Fame, which is in Davenport. It used to be in Auburndale. So there's a lot here with regard to sports. So if you're a baseball fan, you might want to check this out, especially if you're a Tigers fan. Pretty neat. Oh, I thought this was cool. This is like a mini recreation of a post office. Homeland, that's probably from Homeland, Florida, which is not that far from here. I've actually been there. They have a nice historical village. Homeland Heritage Park, which I filmed. I was able to get into most of the buildings except the one at home. It was closed for renovation, and not sure if it's even open yet. That was quite a long time ago, so I really need to check it out. But it is a pretty old community, Homeland. Now, I'm not big into fishing, but I always still thought this was pretty neat, this display on lures for fishing and everything. I'm sure there's people over here, people out there who's just into this stuff that would just be drooling over this cool, really cool collection. Hey, just imagine bringing in a fish that big. Pretty awesome, huh? Here's some more. Now I'm just spot checking, showing some cool stuff here and there. So I'm not going to do in-depth thing. If you want to see some in-depth more videos in this place, check out my previous videos on it. That's when I went really slow, but I'm trying to make the videos more shorter and not as long. I guess people like them a little bit more shorter. There's the Polk Theater, which I think I filmed the outside of that. Not inside. One time I want to see about getting a tour. Kissington Spring, I did some filming there, but I didn't go up to the exact spring. I guess it's dried out or something like that. I've been told there's nothing really there, but it used to be a pretty big hot spot. Chalet Suzanne, that is now closed, but I did film the outside of it. That's also considered a historical landmark. And then of course, this is for Bach Towers, which I've done a ton of videos on. Pretty cool place. Sometimes I love to film inside the tower. And this is interesting. Look at some of the lost attractions that used to be here in Polk County, Florida. The Mystery House, which I've been meaning to go there and do a video on. There's nothing there except a road called Mystery House, but I still want to stop there one time. I know where it is. Circus World, I heard of that place. Boardwalk and baseball. Yeah, and I think they used to have, the Royals used to have the spring training not too far from here, Baseball City. That stopped in the early 2000s. Black Hills Passion Play, St. Anne Shrine, which I did a video there. Really cool place. Masterpiece Gardens, Bartow's Phosphate Valley Expedition. In Mulberry, they have a really nice phosphate museum if you ever want to see it. You should check it out. I've been filming there too. Sand Mountain, Fort Meade. I never even heard of that one. That's cool. Wow. Well, if you're a fan of Publix, they have a nice Publix display here, which I've never seen before. You know, very first Publix and the very second Publix I filmed, they're located in Winter Haven. They both have historical plaques out front. And then in Lakeland is the headquarters for Publix. If you don't know what it is, it's a large grocery store chain. I want to show you something cool. I always thought these things were really cool. Sometimes you could pick them up, real ones that's no longer being used, and have them on like lights at home. That is awesome looking. Of course, Coca-Cola has a lot of connections to the area too. They have a factory in Winter Haven, so that's why they have a nice Coca-Cola display. I'm more of a Pepsi guy myself. They just have a lot of awesome displays here. Really cool stuff. And of course, Florida has a big connection to citrus. See these crate labels? They have a lot of crate labels on display throughout the county. I've seen there's just one outside here, and I've seen them in Auburndale. I've seen them in, I think, Lakeland. Something that they've done. So I always thought it was pretty neat. Holy moly, that's a really big trunk. I think it's really neat when they have displays like this and they make it look like it's not just a common display, but they decorate, like, make it look like more real for the theme of the display itself. I think it's really neat. I could spend hours and hours and hours at a museum like this, just reading the signs and looking at the stuff. This is so cool. I love history. See, that's Jacob Summerlin's walking cane. Now, if you don't know who he is, I'll let you look him up online. I've actually showed his gravesite, which is located here in Bartow. He's pretty prominent in this area, especially having to do with the Civil War. And they have several places where you can actually sit down and watch a video about history about the area. I thought this was pretty cool. It's like a little pioneer house for kids to interact with.
Yeah, your turn? It's my turn.
Really good way to teach history is at interactive displays. Let me show you something else that I always thought was super cool. Let's show you here first. More things for the kids. Here's a mystery log, which is one of those things kids could reach in and figure out shape or something, figure out what it is. But I'll show you one of the coolest things here. And there it is. Look at that. Look at that skull. Isn't that awesome? And there's two of them right there. And they have more fossils here on display. Look how cool that is. It's one of the coolest things here. That's what it is. It's a real one from what I understand. Then they have these things here. It's like a little magnifying. It's supposed to be like a light down there or something, but you can't really see now. You look at something. And look at this. There's a lot of fossil places around here you can go to. At least that's what I heard. It's a mastodon bone. Yeah, huge, huge. Then they have some more fossils here that you could look at. Shells, little displays, you could pull these out. Pretty cool. This is something else I could spend hours looking at, just studying them. That's probably supposed to imitate like a fossil bed. I always like this section. I love nature stuff. Different buttons where you could hear things, and then they have some taxidermy stuff, which I always found kind of sad, but still interesting to look at. Look at this guy. You almost think he's still alive. Pretty cool room. Awesome. One thing they always have a lot here of is military stuff. Civil War, World War I, World War II, Vietnam. So if you like military history, this museum definitely has a lot of it. It's always important to have this stuff on display. Keep it in your mind and remember it. You know the old saying, forget the past, you're doomed to repeat it. Unfortunately, a lot of kids these days don't care about history. They just care about the newest fashions and video games and all that other stuff. Eddie, soldier. Look at this display here for Crossroads, Change in Rural America. Change in Rural America has been made possible in the Polk County History Center by the Florida Humanities Council. Okay, look, it's cool. They talk about early settlers and waterways and foot trails, railroads. There's definitely a lot of railroad history too here in Polk County. So I've been to several museums in this county, and a lot of them is either at like old railroad stations, or they have a lot of displays heavily about railroads. And all this can be found in my playlist if you look up like the history museum playlist. That's where you'll find more videos in this place and other historical things and museums. This room has a lot of cool early women's fashion. If you're into that stuff, looking into the history of it. There's some nice table displays for plates and things. A lot of women's clothing. 1914, that one's from. I'm going kind of quick on these, but there's just a lot to show. Basically just giving an overview. Buy more in-depth videos in my playlist if you want to check it out. Actually, I came here first, but if you want to start your tour, this is the room it says you're supposed to come here and start it with. Sometimes I have that door open, but closed right now. I have a video you could watch, which I think I might have showed on my channel, I'm not certain. This is mainly just something, give you like the map of the place and some information signs. Clerk of the courts, served in Polk County since 1861. There's an old vintage picture of this place. I think I walked in right there. On the second floor now, and I love this floor, like this pattern, really nice. That's that silver dome we're right underneath. This is downstairs. Let me show you something really cool. They still have one of the original courtrooms all intact. Look at that. Look how interesting this is. Fortunately, they don't let you up there. But get a good view. I'm assuming that might have been like the judge's office at one time. Over here they have like a library. I think this was the courtroom. Think about it, courtrooms are really a very sad, depressing place because usually you're in one for something that's not good. So imagine how many sad stories took place here. How many memories. Of course, you don't see this in modern day courtrooms anymore. A second level where you could be for viewing. A nice little interactive history about the 10th Judicial Circuit. And if you know who Spencer Holland is, which I showed on my channel, that has a nice display about him over there. They have another courtroom over there, but it's not fully set up like this one. At least it wasn't the last time I was in there. Fortunately, they don't let you up on the 3rd floor. That's where they say it's supposed to be haunted. I'd love to go up there one day. I've been told it's nothing that really interesting, but Still would be cool to see. They have bathrooms on the first and second floor. And along with the stairs, they do have an elevator, but I never use it because it's a fairly old elevator, and I just really don't trust old elevators that well. Well, isn't that something out of like the 1940s or 50s? Here's where the other courtroom was, but like I said, it's not set up anymore to make it look like a courtroom. There's the viewing box, or whatever they exactly call it. Again, think of all the really probably sad memories that happened here. All the sad times. It was probably murder trials, rape trials, arson, kidnapping, who knows, a lot of bad stuff. People went away to jail for a long, long time. Victims' families sat here crying, upset. Judge would have been there, hand down the sentence. The jury was probably over there. Very sad places. It's like judges, lawyers, police officers, doctors, funeral home directors, or really some of the last people you want to talk to, but for the most part, you're not talking to them in their official capacity for anything that's good. That's what I'm talking about, their official capacity. I don't know what's in this room. I've never seen this room open. At least I don't think I have. They probably use it for display sometimes. Well, it's generally empty. Here's more of that military stuff and I've been telling you about. The war to end all wars. Cool vintage firearms and uniforms. Go back over here in a minute. We definitely have a lot of that if you're interested in that stuff. I definitely suggest checking it out. Western Union, I remember when they discontinued sending telegrams in the United States, and then they sent them for several more years. I think in India this was still pretty popular, then they stopped that too. Now you don't use it for sending money, from what I understand. There's some Nazi stuff. A lot of different interesting service medals and hats. You look at those bullets and bombs. Be a very bad day if you get shot by that thing. Cool Mickey Mouse. A lot of cool stuff here. A lot of information signs that go along with it. Like I said, from time to time they change the displays here, so they don't all stay static like this. See, they have a place where we can sit and watch a little history movie. Let me show you over here. This was always one of my favorite rooms. The foster room and this room was always one of my favorites. Look at this. A lot of cool Native American stuff. Look at that canoe. It's a dugout canoe. I think it's from between 400 to 570 AD. Look how awesome that looks. And over here they have these things you can pull out. Different Native American artifacts. Arrowheads and stuff. They have several drawers. Pretty cool. And some more over here. Then they have like display here, which I think is always interesting. They always play like nice, like Native American music. Which Native American music is actually quite beautiful. With the drums, and usually they have a flute. So you can hear it a little bit. You might be getting a little drowned out by the room next door has this musical display too. Anyways, definitely one of my more favorite rooms. Arts and Cultural Gallery. Let's check this out. And I know this room they definitely change from time to time. That's interesting. They have different kinds of art and stuff like literature, arts education, music, architecture, visual art, commercial art. Not too many artifacts on display, but they have some cool information signs. And of course, some nice music playing too. Classy music. Film and theater. Pretty neat. Athletic art. Imagine how much work it is to set this thing up. All these things. A lot of work. See these glass here? I bet you this was where the judge's office was in that room. That's what I'm assuming. Or maybe it's stairs or something, but I always thought that was where it was. It is right behind where he would be. Or maybe his office was here. I don't know. I have to check into that one time. Okay, I think this is mainly it. I'll give you a nice little brief tour of this place. See ya. Look at that mural. And how much time it took to paint that. Looks like it was done in 2005. See ya. Okay. Okay, well I hope you enjoyed this brief little tour. Now it's free to visit here. I think they're open Tuesday to Saturday, 9 to 5 I think every day, but double check on the time. And you know, if you're in the Bartow, Florida area, it's definitely worth checking out. If you like visiting different museums, they have a lot of nice stuff here. It's a pretty big size, and there's a lot of history around here. There's actually 3 museums in Bartow. There's the L.B. Brown House, and then there's the Luster's African American Museum. I did a video on all of them, so if you want to see them, check them out. But there's at least 3 different museums in Bartow that you can check out if you're into that stuff. But I definitely would visit them because it's important to remember the past and to learn where you came from. And Bartow has an abundance of that, trust me. So that's pretty much it. Any comments, questions, put them below. I'm always happy to answer your questions. First video you might have ever seen, please check out my channel. I do a lot of different food reviews, restaurant reviews, tourist stuff like Disney. I visit abandoned places, historical locations, museums, film locations, unboxing videos. I just do a whole boatload of stuff. So if you get a chance, please check out my channel. If you like, please subscribe. Alright, thank you for watching. Hope everyone has a nice day. Bye everybody, bye. One interesting fact I want to point out, see the stains on the floor there? Someone once told me when this was an active courthouse, there used to be a man who used to have a coffee stand here, and he sold coffee here for years and years and years and years and years. And that's over time, you know, some coffee would spill, make a mess, it would stain the floor, and that's why there's stains on the floor right there. So in a way, there's a little piece of him still left. Think about people walk over and have no idea why that's there, what happened, what used to be here. So when this was an active courthouse, there used to be a little coffee stand right in here, the main lobby for it. Just wanted to point that out on the way out. You can see it more in person. You could probably than you see it on camera, on video. But just thought it would be interesting to point that on the way out. Interesting little factoid.